there, Julia Gentry here, and welcome to another weekly lesson. And today we're going to talk about confidence and why you feel like you never have enough of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all human, so we have all found ourselves saying, I wish I had more confidence. It's actually one of the things that I hear most from people when they come to work with me is, can you help me be more confident? I want to be more confident in my skill. I want to be more confident in my work. I want to be more confident in my relationships. I want to be more confident in who I am. And so generally what we do as people is we, do one more thing. We get one more nice outfit. We do one more push-up. We even Google how to feel more confident. And we shoot for skill set, only to find ourselves not feeling more confident. And so then we start to put things off till tomorrow. We start to wait until we feel more confident. And we wait, and we wait, and we wait, and we're not feeling any more confident. Which is why we're going to talk about this today. I even work with some of the people who have run out the skill set plan. Like, they have made the money, done the things, hired the staff, wrote the book, built the business, gone after the dreams in their heart, and yet they're still sitting in a pool of insecurity. And maybe that's you today. And if so, then this video is for you. So how do we do that? How do we walk more confidently in who we are? How do we show up more confidently in who we are? How do we just live with more confidence? Well, I have some simple, stupid, hard answers for you today. And here's the first. Number one, you being confident is not about how you feel. Most of us think, when I feel more confident, then I'll make the phone call. When I feel more confident, then I'll chase my dreams. When I feel more confident, then I'll have the hard conversation. And here's the problem. The confidence never comes, right? The feeling never changes. And so we continue to push the conversation, we push the hard thing down the road, thinking that one day it's going to get better and that we're all of a sudden going to feel more confident. But the hardest part about that is that the confidence is a byproduct of a feeling that we don't have, but we don't know how to change it, and so we become our feelings. And I'm here to tell you today, you have feelings, you're not your feelings. So even though you don't feel confident, doesn't mean that you still can't take the next step. We have to rectify this with this one idea around confidence, and that is, confidence is not a skill game. Confidence is a trust game. I'm going to say that again. Confidence is not in your skill. Confidence is found in the relationship that you have with yourself. It's a trust game. Confidence says, I believe in myself, so if I say I'm going to work out, I do. If I say I'm going to make the phone call, I do. If I say that I'm going to have that hard conversation, I do. If I say I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. That builds trust in yourself, which then the byproduct of trust in yourself will be confidence. So in theory, the confidence that you're looking for is in the trust that you're breaking. It's in the promise that you're making to yourself that you're not keeping. And so you continue to go, well, when I get there, then I'll be more confident. And here is a simple, stupid, hard thing to do today. Keep the promises that you're making to yourself. That will build trust, and trust will build confidence. Confidence, come to find out, has nothing to do with doing it the right way or the perfect way or the way that everybody wants you to do it or even being the best at it. I've honestly worked with some of the best in their industry. And they are not confident because they're the best. They're confident because they've learned to trust themselves. They've learned that even when they fall, they're going to get up again. They've learned that when they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. They've also learned that if they're not going to do something, they will not say it. So really, in theory, confidence is not going to be a skill set first. It's going to be a mindset, a heart set of trust. So if you're dealing with confidence or a lack thereof today, what I want you to understand is that you have to ask yourself, how could I trust myself more? What are some promises that I could keep to myself that will allow me to build a stronger relationship with me? And I think that's the thing that we're overlooking. For a lot of us, we are so focused on all these other relationships around us that we have forgotten one of the most important relationships that we could have. And that's the one that we have with ourselves. We keep breaking those promises. We keep them for everybody else, but we're not keeping them for ourselves. You know that one that you told them that you're going to go to that meeting and you go. You told them that you're going to do that proposal and you do. You told them that you're going to meet them at the gym, so you go. You tell them that you're going to do the thing and so you do it. But all of those other little promises that you're making to yourself, you're not keeping. You know, those dreams and the desires, the ones that you seem to want most, and you keep pushing it down the road or avoiding it or not doing it or continuing to circle the perpetual perfectionism, right? Which is really just procrastination disguised as something that makes you feel good and really isn't good. We have to understand that confidence will not be when I get better at this, then I will be more confident. It has nothing to do with that. It's simply that you've learned to trust yourself. That trust has built repetition. That repetition will build skill set, and that skill set will evolve into confidence. But the root of it isn't skill set, isn't performance, it's trust. So today I want you to honestly sit there and I want you to look at the area that you're the least confident. Pick it. Are you the least confident in hard conversations? Are you the least confident in business? Are you the least confident in the gym? Are you the least confident with your spouse? Are you the least confident in writing that book? Are you the least confident in doing a video and putting it out on social media? Where are you struggling with feeling the least amount of confidence? And I want you to do one thing every day that builds trust in yourself towards that goal. So if you keep saying, I'm not confident in my body, I want to lose weight, I want to feel better, and I'm not confident. Okay, great. Then today, you're going to go for a walk. And tomorrow, you're going to do it again. And the next day, you're going to do it again. And the next day, you're going to do it again. And you will not break the promise that you make to yourself. Today, you're going to maybe stop eating that burger and you're going to have a salad. And you're going to do that again the next day and the next day and the next day. Or maybe for you, it's writing that book. That was my journey. I knew that God had called me to write a book. It felt bigger than me. It felt like, who the heck am I to write this book? Right? Like I've been working in the marketplace for years, and then all of a sudden God's like, I want you to write a book, and by the way, I want you to write it to the church. And I was like, oh my gosh, you've got the wrong girl. Like we all say that, right? And so where I started was I just made a commitment to myself that I would write a little bit each day, and I did. I wrote when I didn't feel confident. I wrote when I didn't feel like it. I wrote when I felt vulnerable. I wrote with tears rolling down my cheeks. I wrote because I made a promise to myself, and I knew that the only way that I was going to bridge the gap between where I was and where I wanted to be from a confidence level was not just about, quote unquote, being a better writer. It was just learning to keep the promises that I made. So if you're writing a book today, write every day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how much you've got on your to-do list, regardless of how noisy the world is, write. Why? Because you made a promise to yourself to do it. This over time will create a habitual relationship of trust between you and you. A habitual relationship of trust. That's the cornerstone of every healthy relationship. So even when I fail, even when I mess up, even when I make a mistake, which, by the way, you're going to, I'm settled and I'm secure and I'm still confident. Why? Not because I'm perfect, but because I trust myself. Now, to take it even a step further, I want to invite you into an even deeper understanding of what it could look like to trust. Most of us trust nothing, which is why we're anxious. Outside of even just the relationship that we have with ourselves, we don't really trust people, we don't really trust our future, and we don't trust God, which is why we're feeling extremely anxious. Anyone ever struggle with anxiety? Yeah. Anxiety actually means, if you look at the emotional definition around what anxiety means, it means that I do not trust the process and flow of life. Probably means I don't trust myself. I don't trust God. I'm not anchored in to something bigger than me. Well, I don't know that I can trust him. Well, you're going to have to build your life in a relationship also with God, Well, yeah, but God disappointed me. He didn't do what I wanted him to do. He didn't answer my prayer. Why do bad things happen to good people? Heck, why do bad things happen to me? That's fair. And here's what we have to understand. As we're building a relationship with God, his ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. We have a very temporary perspective, a very here and now way of looking at things. And though I will not downplay your pain, I will not try to undermine what you've gone through, and I'm surely not here to try to convince you that you should just be quote unquote better in the midst of all the hard. However, I am here to ensure that you put your eyes on God, who is a good God. He is a good God, and he is someone and the only one that we can ultimately anchor our truest trust in, and not because he does what we want him to do. He's not a puppet. He's not a genie in a bottle. He's God. And he has an eternal perspective, and he promises that in all things, he will work things out for my good because I love him. I will build my life in love towards God, then I will learn to trust him in the midst of the times that I don't understand. Heck, especially in the times that I don't understand, right? Like, it doesn't take any trust to build a relationship with God when everything's going the way that I want it to go. You know what I mean? Like, that's not trust. That's just a relationship. Like, that's easy. That's cheap. There's no depth in that type of relationship. A relationship is really tested when things don't go as planned. When someone says something or does something that wasn't expected. And though we're talking about a perfect God, he still does things in a way and according to a will and a time frame that doesn't always match my expectations. And that is breeding ground for trust, equally as much as it's breeding ground to tear me apart. Most of us look at these moments and we've let them take us further away from trusting God, when the reality is it's an opportunity to lean in, to learn how to trust him at a level that our minds can't even comprehend. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not on your own understanding. What does that mean? My heart set needs to be in the right place. Heart set first, then mindset. I need to trust in the Lord with all my heart. Do not have offense to what he's doing. Do not have offense because he doesn't do it in my way. Do not have offense because it seems as though it's only going to get worse. Do not take offense in him. Then, what does it say? Lean not on your own understanding. What does that mean? You have to let go of your understanding. You have to let go of what you can analyze. You have to let go of your strategic plan. You have to let go of the way you thought it was going to happen. Why? So you can actually lean in and learn to build a relationship that you can actually trust in God. Why? Because he's good and his word never changes. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And this is your invitation today to learn that God. The Bible says, if you know the truth will set you free. When you learn to anchor into a relationship with him and trust him fully, trust the truth, then you will be free. So how do you know if you're trusting God and trusting yourself? You will feel free. Not perfect, not controlled, not passive aggressive, not like you're avoiding, not like you're in anxiety. No, you will feel free. Why? Because I've learned to hang my hat, pay attention, actually focus my heart and my mindset on the truth, Jesus. I will anchor myself on the truth. I will learn to trust him. I will learn to trust me. And therefore, the byproduct is freedom. Therefore, we're not after more confidence. We're after more freedom. So today, when you find yourself going, I just wish that I felt more confidence, stop saying that. And I want you to actually invite yourself into this idea of, no, I'm not after confidence. I'm after freedom. It says, who the Son set free. It says, who the Son set free is free indeed. That's why he came and died for us, is so that you would be free, run free, live free, not because the world around you is doing it, not because all the cards are aligned exactly how you want them, not because every T is crossed and every I is dotted, but because he came to give you freedom, which is found in your daily choices. So today, Here's the upgrade. Stop seeking confidence and seek freedom. How do I find freedom? I anchor myself into learning to trust him and learning to trust in myself, to sticking with the truth, which will then ultimately set me free. Stay true today. Keep the promises that you make to yourself today. Anchor in him as though he is the very breath and life that you need to survive, because come to find out, he is. And bit by bit, piece by piece, you will build a life anchored in him, trusting in him, keeping the promises that you make to yourself, and living free. And of course, if you want more dream hacks just like this, tools to actually bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be, then click on the link below and learn more about my mastermind group called Dreamstorm. This is where we're actually giving people my proven dream framework to help you chase your dreams. No, not even chase them, storm after them. We're waiting for you. If not now, when? And if not you, who?